I'm in downtown Dallas, Texas, and in this video, we're going to discuss the worst things about living in my city, Dallas, Texas. Dallas is one of the best cities in the country. However, it's not perfect. So in this video, we're going to discuss some of the pitfalls and the things that I do not like in regards to living in Dallas, Texas. So stay tuned. My name is Richard Soto, a local real estate broker right here in Dallas, Texas with VIP Realty, the premier firm in real estate. If you're new to the channel, please make sure you hit that subscribe button as we do weekly videos talking all about living, working, and playing right here in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, as well as we tour some of the best real estate listings on the market today. There's a lot of background noise, ambulance, police cars, traffic. We are in the heart of the city in Cloudwarren Park. It's overcast. The sun hasn't came out yet. However, it is still a beautiful day in Dallas, Texas. In this video, we're going to talk about what I dislike in regards to living right here in Dallas, Texas. I've lived here my entire life. I was literally born about 10 minutes up the highway, so I know all the good and the bad in regards to living in Dallas. So let's get started with our first item on our list in no particular order, and that's going to be the scenery. However, if you follow me this way, we're going to walk towards downtown Dallas. And let me tell you, the one thing about Dallas, Texas, it has one of the most beautiful skylines in the entire world. Never mind the US, but the world. So if you're in downtown, the views here are spectacular. They are amazing. They are beautiful. I love driving up 45 North, 35 North when I'm coming back from Houston, San Antonio, Austin, and I visited and trained the agents there at our VIP Realty office. As I'm coming up north on the highway and I see the Dallas skyline, it literally takes my breath away. My heart starts to patter a little bit faster. However, that's as good as it's going to get right here in Dallas. Besides the skyline, there is absolutely nothing to look at. It is extremely flat right here in North Texas, and I don't care what anybody says. In the comments, I get a lot of flack about how we have mountains and all this stuff. No, we don't. Especially in the DFW Metroplex, there's not even hills here in North Texas, so it's extremely flat, and depending on where you're relocating or visiting from in other parts of the country. For instance, we just opened up our office in San Diego, starting to branch out throughout California, just like we did here in Texas. And let me tell you, the San Diego skyline's beautiful, but you add the beach and the hills and mountains, oh my gosh, it is so beautiful. Dallas is not going to offer that. If you're not close to downtown, all you're going to be looking at is concrete and a bunch of flat dirt as far as the eye can see. So one of the first items is definitely the scenery or the lack thereof right here in Dallas, Texas. Okay, moving on to the next item on our list, and that is going to be the weather. Probably the number one thing I dislike in regards to living in Dallas. Once again, I just came back from San Diego, and anytime I visit that office, it's going to be sunny and it's going to be around 75 to 78 degrees, which is absolutely perfection. In Dallas, however, especially during the summer, July and August, we're talking about extreme high temperatures, well over 100, especially when you factor humidity into that heat. It is almost unbearable. That is why my kids and I strategically plan vacations during that time, not because they're out of school and it's summertime, it's because we are trying to avoid the Texas summer heat, which is extremely brutal. So if you've come from an environment that has nice summer weather, you're going to dislike moving to Dallas because, not to belabor the point, but the heat here in Dallas, Texas is awful. The weather here in Dallas is also bipolar. It doesn't matter if it's in the middle of June or New Year's Day, there's always a chance of it being in the mid 80s. You will also get hit by massive rainstorms, humidity, extreme heat, hail the size of baseballs, a tornado or two in the spring, and it could also ice and snow. You just never know what you're going to get. So the weather here in Dallas is very unpredictable. You might need to wear a tank top, you might need an umbrella, you might need your winter jacket. And besides the heat, as I stated earlier, hail could be a major issue here. Thankfully, my property and vehicles have never been damaged by hail, but I do know numerous friends and family that hail has done thousands of dollars in damage to their vehicles and to their homes. So weather is definitely an issue right here in Dallas, Texas. Okay, moving on to the next topic, and that is going to be that Dallas typically shuts down very early. So we're going to have early nights right here in Dallas, Texas, even though it's a huge, massive city, one of the biggest cities in the country. For whatever reason, as the trolley is passing by, if you're ever in town, definitely jump on the trolley. It's a nice free ride where you can take in the sights, stop at a couple of different patios, enjoy yourself some lunch and some margaritas. Just a pro tip when you visit Dallas. So hopefully you can hear me. One thing about Dallas that's negative as well, as I was saying earlier, even though it's a huge city, everything seems to shut down rather early. So if you're relocating or visiting from a major city such as Chicago, New York, or Los Angeles, it's going to be early nights. Typically, everything starts to shut down around 9 p.m. And for someone like myself that eats very late because of my busy work schedule, a lot of times there isn't anywhere to eat at least a good meal. I have to go through a drive-through such as Whataburger at 11 p.m., which is not going to cut it. And if you're a night owl and you like to party and you like to be in the social scenes, most of the clubs here in Dallas are going to shut down around 2 a.m. So again, if you like to party, you want to turn up and stay out all night, Dallas is probably not going to be the city for you. I'm sure there's some clubs that might have some after hours. However, in general, everything is going to shut down early right here in Dallas, which is perfectly fine with your boy. I call it a night at 11 p.m. and that's when I'm very active and out late at night. So early nights, definitely a negative right here in Dallas, Texas. I wish my son Nathan was here today. He's at school. I should have let him skip. He did tell me, Dad, I want to help you record. I want to help you with work. Can I skip school? I was very tempted into letting him skip. And that brings me to my next point or my next topic, and that is going to be the Dallas schools. And let me tell you, Dallas and North Texas has some of the best schools in the country. However, the Dallas Independent School District is definitely not one of them. So if you have children like myself, education is of top priority and you don't want to pay for private school. Like myself, I refuse to spend money on private school, especially when we pay so much in taxes. Dallas is definitely going to be an issue in regards to public schools. The Dallas Independent School District isn't even in the top 100 school districts in the entire state. If you're wanting better schools for your kids, you'll have to go 30 to 45 minutes north of downtown Dallas, and you should have better schools for your children to go to. So typically what I personally would do, for instance, I love downtown Dallas. I love the high-rise condo buildings. I love the amenities that they have to offer. I love that it's walkable. You can walk down to the gym. You can walk to the grocery store. You can walk to entertainment, restaurants, bars, whatever it is that you're wanting to do. However, the reason that I personally don't live downtown Dallas, it's because of the school district. So I am not comfortable living down here unless I was actually going to pay for private school. I'm just not comfortable. The majority of families, such as myself, typically end up living and moving to the suburbs such as Capel, Frisco, Plano, Allen, McKinney. There's numerous great neighborhoods throughout the suburbs of Dallas, and that's usually what a lot of families do. However, if money isn't a concern and you're willing to splurge on education, I would definitely love to live right here in downtown Dallas. However, as a general rule of thumb, in the city of Dallas, the schools are definitely not going to be the best. It's 10:30 a.m., everybody's at work, the kids have been dropped off at school, and yes, right behind me is 35, and it is congested with a ton of traffic. That is going to be a daily occurrence right here in Dallas, regardless of where you're going, north, south, east, or west. Dallas has been growing nonstop for many years, and the past 3 years have been an explosion of growth right here in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. So wherever it is that you're going, prepare to take an extra 15 to 30 minutes because you are definitely going to hit traffic regardless if it's morning, afternoon, or night. There is absolutely going to be traffic. In addition to the traffic, Texas has some of the most aggressive drivers in the country. We can be crazy, ruthless, and pretty bad. We're the kind of drivers that will do anything to make sure that we make that exit. So if traffic stresses you out and you don't want to deal with the thousands of people on the highways, Dallas is not the place for you. So once again, if you don't like congestion and traffic, don't move to Dallas. It's going to be a nightmare for you. I can tell you this. My hand is very well versed with smashing the steering wheel horn. I literally use it at least 2 to 3 times a day. It is amazing, these Dallas drivers. I can be in the middle lane, minding my business, and a young lady on my left-hand lane can merge into my lane. I'll honk as she's texting away, and as I pass her and I look, she'll give me a dirty look as if I am in the wrong. And not just a young lady, it's men, grandma, grandpas, it doesn't matter. People are texting and driving, watching YouTube while they're behind the steering wheel. It is amazing. They are terrible drivers and they are confused of why you're upset and honking. And one of my biggest pet peeves here in Dallas, guys, we are in a hurry. This is a city of business and getting things done. If you are on the highway and you're new to Dallas, the far left-hand lane is dedicated to passing. So if you're not speeding, basically, and getting around traffic, merge over to the right-hand lane, or someone like myself will be tailgating you most likely and honking. Just a pro tip if you're going to move and relocate to the city of Dallas, Texas. Okay, let's keep it going. Moving on to the next topic, and that is going to be guns. And I'm not talking about the guns on your arms. I'm talking about firearms. And if you are opposed to protecting your home and your family and you don't like guns, let me tell you something, don't bother moving to Dallas or Texas in general, because people here in Dallas, Texas love their guns, and the more guns that we can collect, probably the better. Not everyone has those views, but I would say the majority of the people that reside and live in Dallas are going to be pro-gun without question. With us Texans being very stubborn and passionate, we will fight to keep our guns to make sure to maintain the right to bear arms. Those who have opposing views will have a pretty difficult time here in Dallas. Texas has more guns that are registered than any other state in the union, at around 600,000 guns registered in the state of Texas. With Dallas being the third most populated city in Texas, you can see that it makes a very big contribution to that number. I love the public transportation here in downtown Dallas. Check out this little trolley. As you can see on the sign, you get a free ride throughout downtown Dallas. Okay, moving on to the next topic, and that's going to be high pollution levels. And pretty much every major city in the world is going to have an issue with pollution, and Dallas is definitely no exception. According to the American Lung Association, Dallas ranked 16th in regards to pollution, which is pretty high on the list. So if pollution's an issue, you are not going to want to move to Dallas, Texas. It is usually the worst in the business districts, urbanized residential neighborhoods, and downtown metro areas. Other studies do indicate that Dallas-Fort Worth area ranks 44th worst for practical pollution. The overall grade for the presence of particles in the area is a D, as reported in 2022. Okay, moving on to the next item on our list. As the food trucks are starting to line up here in Clyde Warren Park, if you're ever in town, definitely come to Clyde Warren Park. It's absolutely beautiful. I bring my kids here, they're basketball teammates and friends. We get the football, toss it around, kick the soccer ball around. And as they're doing that, if you pan this way to my right-hand side, you'll see me, Cocina, right behind me. I typically sit right on that corner. There's a massive patio. I grab myself some chicken enchiladas, some salsa chips, and you already know I'm gonna get a few margarita on the rocks. So I just sit back, relax, taking my kids, playing, laughing, having a great time. And the backdrop is the most beautiful skyline in the entire world. The Dallas skyline is absolutely amazing. So when you're in Dallas, if you're visiting, definitely come hang out at Clyde Warren Park. You'll be glad you did. And if you don't want to eat Mexican food, I don't know what to tell you, because Mexican food is the best food in the world. But if you're wanting to try something else, as my kids typically do, we can come get some food from the food trucks. And they usually line up, and there's probably 10, 15 different food trucks that you can choose from. Now, I'm starting to get hungry, so let me get back on track. And the next topic is going to be crime right here in Dallas. And Dallas is not the worst crime-infested city in the country. However, it's definitely not the best. Dallas is about 6% safer than other major cities, which is a pro. However, violent crime rate is more than double the national median. So crime can definitely be an issue here in Dallas, just like in any other major city. If you go to the wrong parts of the city, you could have some issues. However, that goes pretty much countrywide, worldwide. I believe the majority of Dallas is absolutely safe, but believe me, we can definitely walk into the wrong place at the wrong time. So make sure if you're visiting, you know where you're going. So again, crime could definitely be an issue depending on where you live right here in Dallas. Did you see all these empty tables and chairs? Sometimes you just want to be left alone in peace with your thoughts. However, if you live in a major city and you don't like people, it's definitely going to be an issue. So if you're a loner, you like to stick to yourself, you don't like going shopping to the mall, to the grocery store, to the gym with 50,000 people all around you at all times, Dallas is not going to be the place for you. As a matter of fact, Dallas is the 9th most populated city in the United States, and I believe it's the 4th most populated when you combine the suburbs and nearby cities. So Dallas is very, very large. So if you come from an environment or the country or a place with limited population and you like your space, Dallas is not for you. I almost forgot. Not only is it going to be very populated, it's also going to be very loud. So I don't know if you can hear it through my mics, but we have landscapers to my left, we have landscapers in front of me, we have landscapers to the right, we have food trucks with the engines roaring, we had ambulances earlier, we had trains coming and going, we had police in the background, we have helicopters in the sky. So it is very loud and noisy if you're in the downtown area of Dallas. So if noise is an issue as well, and quite frankly, even in the suburbs, it can get pretty loud with all the alarms, kids getting in and out of school. So loud noise, definitely a factor when you move to Dallas as well. Okay, moving on to the next topic. Guys, what a beautiful day. I know it's overcast, the sun isn't out, which is okay with me. It is a perfect day. I wish I would have brought my shoes, t-shirt, and shorts, and it is a perfect time to go for a run right here in the city. It is beautiful today, even though the sun isn't out. Now, let's move on to the next topic, and that is going to be property taxes. And what can I tell you? Geez almighty, I hate seeing that tax bill. It literally makes me sick. Dallas and Texas has some of the highest property taxes in the country. Because Texas has no income tax, that also means that the property tax will be higher to replace those funds. Texas has some of the highest property taxes in the nation. According to a ranking by Wallet Hub, Texas is the 45th of 51 states for the highest property taxes in the U.S. Okay, let's keep moving on to the next topic, which is going to be criticizing Dallas, or God forbid, the state of Texas. In several of my past videos, I've done videos on the cons of living in Dallas, the cons of living in Texas, the fact that I was leaving Texas. And let me tell you, I have about 800, 900, 1,000 comments just berating me. People in Dallas or Texas do not like to be criticized of their state and city. We are very proud Texans. We are very proud to live in Dallas, and I love Texas. I could live anywhere in the country, but I choose to live in Texas, where I was born and raised. I love Dallas. Dallas is home. I was born here. My children were born here. Saying that, I know Dallas isn't perfect, thus that's why we're making this video. But when you typically criticize the city of Dallas or the state of Texas, holy moly, the people that live here get so freaking offended, they just can't take it, which is pretty damn odd. We can admit we don't have the best views. We can admit that it gets hot as heck right here in Dallas. So I don't know what the issue is when you just state facts. If you say good things about Texas, you'll be good friends with the people. But if you openly criticize the state, get ready to get an earful. Biting your tongue and not speaking your mind is probably one of the best things that you can do in the presence of a lifelong Texan who is very prideful of the state that they've been loving for a long time. The pride the people have in the great state of Texas is sometimes overwhelming, making what you say about the state very important. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed the video today and learned a little bit more about Dallas, Texas, my city. I love Dallas, Texas. However, as I stated earlier, it's definitely not perfect, and no city is. However, I live here because I absolutely love Texas, which brings me to my next point. The following video, we're going to discuss why I love Texas so much and all the benefits that Dallas, Texas has to offer. So if you're thinking about moving to Dallas, Fort Worth, Houston, Austin, San Antonio, or throughout the state of Texas, my team and I have offices through the entire state, and we would love to assist you with your next real estate transaction. And as always, I'll see you on the next video.